It is Gabriel here again, and today we are talking about web security and how startups and small businesses are actually affected by this. The thing is that most startups and businesses actually get exploited and security breaches due to their low security in their websites. And that's what we're actually bringing here. So first of all, I'm going to be talking about my startup, Avian Security. Avian Security is where we help startups and small businesses, small companies that can't afford a huge security audit for pen tests. So we help them with their website, their applications, mobile applications, software, and help them, scale through. You get my point at a very good rate because we see that one of the great things they are facing is that they can't actually afford these things, afford these security audits, especially if it is monthly, quarterly, or yearly. Yeah, the thing is that most companies actually they see it as a challenge when they can't go through this. Now, at Haven Security, this is what we do. We make sure your website, your applications, your software are in compliance with privacy policy, and with if it is a mobile application, we make sure it is in adherence with Apple Play Store, Google Play Store, and all of that. We also offer code review services. Yeah, we help you review your code and also help you in through giving our application security services. Yes, AppSec through your SDLC cycle when you're trying to build application. So that's what we do there. Now, moving forward, I will be talking briefly about web security. That's we are all here for web security. Now, the thing is that I'll be reading from something I wrote down here. I've jotted this down now for a while, and I believe it will be of a great benefit. Okay, most websites we use every day, our banking apps, our e-commerce sites, government portals are all vulnerable, and that's the fact. They're actually all vulnerable. There is no such thing as 100% security in anything we do. Now they are vulnerable, and today, I'll be showing you how attackers think, how web apps get hacked, and how these attacks are prevented ethically and legally. Yeah. Now this actually builds trust and protects you legally when your website, your web application is being protected. Once good security is implemented in that application, you get my point. Now, what we know about web security is that the practice of protecting websites and web application from attacks. Yes, web security is the practice of protecting web attacks or protecting web applications, sorry, from web attacks that exploits vulnerabilities in code, design, and configuration. Now, for that vulnerability, it means weakness. What hackers actually do, they don't just do something. They find a loophole and they use that. They use that as the advantage to get into the web application and taking it down or performing some kind of web vulnerabilities like XSS, whereby they can steal the user session cookie and use it to regain access into the account, and from there they can perform an ATO, account takeover from there. And why this actually matters is that because of user data. Yes, why we do have web security, user data like passwords, cards, emails, business reputation, legal compliance like the GDPR and NDPR compliance, and also financial losses. These are the reasons why we actually need web security in any security we're actually building or anything like that. And the thing is that this also protects is also the part of protecting web applications from attacks that exploit design or configuration. Now, one of the greatest issues about startups and SMBs is that they don't have a good AppSec engineer or software engineer that will help them design a good web application that will not get exploited on an easy ground. Yeah, their design is usually low and leave a lot of flaws, which actually open doors for attackers to exploit them. Now, let me just say how attackers think in this regard. Now, attackers don't act randomly. No, they don't come to the website and start hacking it like that. No. They enumerate endpoints. That's what they do. They enumerate endpoints. They test inputs. They test this, test that, and see how it reacts. There's a particular tool called Bot Suite, and if you're familiar with this tool, you know that you can use this very well in enumerating, in testing inputs, in abusing logic flaws, in exploiting weak authentication and authorization by testing security flaws like IDOR, broken access control, SSRS, and so many other web vulnerabilities out there. Now, they actually check for these things and see if they are there. And the only reason why these vulnerabilities can be there is because they are not well designed and the code is actually not well written. That is why this can be exploited easily. And it even creates a greater problem when they are patched. Behind every patched software, there's always a loophole left behind. Now, that creates a more issue for the developer or for the startup or for the company when you find a vulnerability right after production and then you're trying to patch it or you patched it already, it's actually possible for the attacker to come back and break that patching and get access back into the application. That's if there's no a good design right from start. So instead of all that, why not just build it good right from the scratch to actually be very strong in security? Now, hackers don't break in; they are let in by mistakes. Hackers don't come to the door and destroy the door. No, they come in when they get to the door and they found the key at the entrance of the door. So that's basically what they do. Now you call it unauthorized access. They say, they exploited it. Now, when you have a door let's say in your house, you have a door, you lock it with your key and you left the key there. Of course, when the thief comes, he sees the key, he can easily open the door because the key has been left at the door. That's the mistake software developers usually make. They leave the key there and attackers come, they see it and they found it as an opportunity to break through. Now, let me say one of the most dangerous and the most easiest web attack to perform in the history of all attacks is IDOR. And following that is broken access control. IDOR is the most easiest web attack you can ever perform in any history of web attacks. Very easy, changing user ID. Now, if that is done successfully, it takes less than 5 minutes to actually get that done, and it can take as far as months to years losing data, losing trust of clients because now attackers actually can get access into another user account, and do whatever they want to do. That's either broken access control, where I can actually have access into an account a moment to have access to. So that's how attackers actually do their stuff. Now you have to really pay attention to this kind of vulnerability, which is called IDOR, because it's very easy to find, but yet it does not have to be there. It doesn't have to be there. And most startups don't even pay attention to this IDOR and broken access control, because in the OWASP top 10 2025, we see that even SSRF has now been added to broken access control top 1. Let's go check the site, and it's here. Okay. I want to look for the image where they drew the image on how it is and show the here it is. So you can see here in 2021 we have the SSRFs and straighten up, adding it to the broken access control, because of course SSRF attack is a form of broken access control because that takes you straight into the internal structure of the application, internal file, getting access to the internal drive of the application. So in here I will be solving some labs or showcasing some labs and how you can actually test for this thing. So if you're a pen tester, a junior pen tester, or application security engineer who is working with an industry or a company or an organization or a startup or small business build a software and application, it will be good you know how to exploit these basic vulnerabilities and check for them for good sanitization. Because if this vulnerability should appear in your software as a startup or small business, then there's going to be trouble. Now, there are some core web security concepts that you actually must pay attention to when it comes to web security. And one of it is authentication. Yes, one of it is authentication. Another like it is authorization. Now, these two actually works together. Now, authentication is saying who you are. Now, authentication is bringing you in as who you are. Who are you? I'm the admin. Who are you? I am the user. An authorization is giving you access as per who you are. Get my point? So when you get in by authentication, authorization will tell you who you are and what you are meant to do. That's it. And this is leading in directly into IDOR, open access control, and privilege escalation. If these two things aren't met, it can lead to any of the three vulnerabilities. If authorization and authentication are broken, it can lead straight into IDOR, open access control, and privilege escalation. Now, that's for the authentication and authorization security part. Where now we have the one for clients and server-side security. Yeah, this is where SSRF and CSRF actually comes in. Now, client side can be bypassed. Server side must enforce rules. Yes, client side can be bypassed. Server side must enforce rules. The thing is that regarding this SSRF and CSRF, I won't be explaining much about it. You can go read more on, because as my core focus here is on authentication, authorization, and some of the other web security flaws that we have in web applications. Now, there is this two dangerous web security flaw that I really need to look into, which is cross-site scripting and SQL injection. Now, cross-site scripting, SQL injection, broken access control remains one of the top ways of how attackers actually exploit things. Now, this is OAuth 2025, and of course, you might say that, oh, there's no XSS here. Of course, it is. In the A05 2025, we have the injection attacks. Now, under this injection attacks, we have XSS, we have SQL injection, we have command injection. Yeah, this is the everything is written together and put here together all at once. That is how we have it. And we really need to be careful when building web application. XSS doesn't come from the back end of the application. It comes from the front end of the application. Now, this is when the back end is trusting user inputs from the front end and taking it in. So when you perform XSS cross-site scripting attack, you're actually getting in through the front end to the back end. And once the back end actually trusts the inputs too much, it will take it in, and from there you're gone. And same applies for SQL injection, whereby you get access to the database through the front end, of course, through the front end. You don't go to the back end to get it. You perform everything through here. And that is where you have areas like the login fees. That is usually where you perform SQL injection the most, where you have the username, password, and all. That's where the SQL injection is usually mostly performed. Now, how will we come into PostFigure here? And PostFigure remains one of the best places to actually learn the fundamentals and basics of web security and attacks. And to make this simple, I'll be going through, you can always come here to learn more about web security and web security flaws. You can learn about it. You can also perform lab, because here we have all topics where you can actually learn it. And this is the topic. I can learn it from here. And from there, I can know how to exploit it once I understand it. And under access control, we have horizontal, vertical, and all like that. I think we have about 3 types of access control, broken access control. Okay. Now, I've explained access control, I've explained authentication. Let's go straight to information disclosure. Now, this is actually, this also is a very huge thing. Now, behind the labs, because in the lab, we are going to be saying some kind of information disclosure like the web framework, the IP address, all sort of things like that. That's what comes up from information disclosure. Things that are not meant to be seen are being seen, and that will actually create more room for attackers to exploit and know more about the application. So that's where information disclosure comes in. That's information disclosure on the website. Now, there's another type of information disclosure whereby it's found on the web, and this is what we call Google Docking. Now, I won't be performing that on here for some reasons, but I believe some of you understand Google Docking. Yeah, Google Docking, D-O-R-K-I-N-G. Now, Google Docking is something very, very lucrative when it comes to security research. You can actually use that to get information from known organizations and all sorts of things like that. You can actually use it to get as many things as you want as far as they're online. And that's actually for a good purpose, where you're doing it ethically to check on the organization and see if they're not leaking any data. Some organizations leave their GitHub repo public. You get up, they leave it public, and you can actually access it from Google Docking. The moment you do that, it will be good to actually report it immediately to the organization to find a good remediation for that, and things. Sometimes you can get access to ENV files. Some kind of things happen from Google Document. A lot happens from Google Document. And you need to know about Google Document and use it hard to your arsenal as a security researcher. Now, I will be performing some access control. We have it in my video, some of my YouTube videos I've already made. I've performed some of these access control labs already. So there's no need for me to actually go through this again. If you want to know more about it, go back to my YouTube channel. It will appear on your screen right after this video on broken access control, so you can know how to actually learn this thing. You know, broken access control is something you could learn. You can know about it in like 2 weeks of practice. Yes, that's broken access control. I'm telling you, you can know it in 2 weeks of practice when you do it continually. At least you solve. This has 13 labs. If you solve the labs, you know, multiple times, you solve 5 today, then 5 tomorrow, then 5 the other day. You're done with the whole lab. Then take it again, another 3 days, another 3 days. In 14 days, you should be done with, you know, you should understand what broken access control is. And mind you, when it comes to practicing online on ForceFigure, don't rely on the method you are being taught here. It will actually destroy you when using that same method to find security flaws on the real accounts. You might not find anything, but you have to learn how to go deeper and explore. One of my mentors really say something. His name is Gospel on Twitter. Yes, he's on X. His name is Gospel. He's trying to say something that go deep before you go wide. Yeah, you go deep before you go wide. So before you start going wide on the surface, you have to go very deep into the application and see what you can find before you expand. So that's how you actually do your web security. So that's basically it on web security. As I said, I won't be going deep on web security. I will be talking on some things. And one of the important things we also need to put in place when it comes to web security is updates. Security updates. Always learn to update your software, update your whatever devices you're using. Learn to update it. That actually will help a long way. It will even save you more of stress, because when your security or your software are outdated, it creates more room for exploitation. It creates more room for hackers to actually come in. And you see, it depends on the framework you're using. Let's say for the React framework now, that the one that has been vulnerable, and you didn't do anything about it. Do you know that you can actually get exploited from there? Just they might not even know your industry. There's this thing called Shoulder.io. This thing will help them navigate you faster, and they can do this on a random. Your name can get caught up on a random, and you get exploited. That will be entirely your fault, not the hacker's fault. Because if good security is in place, if good compliance is in place, there will be nothing like breaking the law or anything. Now, like I've said, Haven Security Network, we provide the services. We help the startup and small businesses. We help them scale in their web application, in their software, and ensure security is well enforced. And as well, we have an academy that we enroll students who want to get started in cybersecurity with the good expertise we have and our team that will actually help out on this. I'll be going through our website now for you to see what we really do. Now, this is a temporary website. Once we are done finalizing everything, then the real domain will be out. So for now, it's okay. Even security. So just you also see it in the bio, of course. That is even security. This is our website. I don't know why it's not working here. Okay, let me reduce this. Okay, now this is AV Security Network, HSN, and this is what we do. We have the intelligence on the home page, the operations, these are services, pet testing, threat modeling, code review, OSINT intel, and even security awareness for your startup and brand and small businesses. If you want to know about cybersecurity awareness and you want to know about cybersecurity, you want to know about security, you want to know about protection, about privacy policies and everything, we also give that as well. And as well, we have internship opportunities where they can come and where students can come and gain experience in our place. And from there, they actually gain real-world experience that will actually accredit them that, yes, they are in cybersecurity. And of course, we give certificate of completion. Now, this is proactive startup defense, our software that we're working on. You can register your email here to join the waiting list. So as part of our software is ready, This helps in helping startups and SMBs identify the security flaws faster. And it's a normal rate where every startups and SMBs can actually afford, because we see that most startups and SMBs can't actually afford security audit, like I said earlier. They can't afford security audit in the application, which actually drives to more vulnerabilities and drives to more exploit and data breaches. So we are reducing that by making it affordable for them to actually accept, and also they can come here and join the wait list, or even request our services as we help you do it manually before you deploy your application. This is our academy. We have our industry training, Linux basics, web pen testing, OSINT investigation, ethical hacking, and we have the offensive bundle of web and ethical hacking, and probably OSINT together like that. Yes, it's about web and OSINT all combined in offensive security bundle, and we have the risk and duration. And after that, there's actually possibility of receiving an intern, being an intern in the company, and from there you scale. This is our system vulnerability check. If you want to perform a quick audit on your software and your web application, you can come here and find your way. You can just drop your domain, your email, and start your audit. From there, it will respond to you within 24 to 48 hours. This a startup innovator, like I said, if you want to request a demo of what we do, you can come here as well and see for yourself. For inquiries, you can meet us from here. This is our mail, and you can also connect with us on LinkedIn and Twitter. My name is Gabriel. Oh yes, I didn't know how I missed this. Here is our me, the founder, of course. So this is my motive, and what you want to connect. You can also connect with me here on LinkedIn and Twitter, and you can see my GitHub repos and all. Is our team. We have the OSINT intelligence analyst, the ethical hacker security lead, me, Your Honor, and for instance, yeah, we're here to fill that in place. Of course, it's going to be done soon. Yes, everything like I said, and if you want to be a partner, you can come here, be a partnership. If you want to know about that partnership, you can come here and be a partnership investor or anything in the industry. It will be good. That's on that. And by now, I hope you know about security in web applications. Now, if you want to know more about security, you can always search online for web security and what you actually need to know when it comes to web security and what you need to put in place. Thank you for watching. My name is Gabriel Odusonya, your application security engineer and pen tester, also security enthusiast. Nice to meet you. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe and share.